Thom Hartmann here on the news. You need to know this. It's official. The Tea Party is now the political wing of Wall Street. Despite running on a platform against the bailouts and against Wall Street corruption, all 15 freshman Republicans in the House Tea Party caucus are snugly in the pockets of Wall Street. A study by the Center for American Progress shows that every single one of the 15 Tea Party freshman Republicans has received campaign cash from either banks that got bailed out or from Wall Street's biggest interest group, the American Bankers Association, or both. In total, these members of Congress have collected more than $600,000 from Wall Street, and in return, they're voting in line with the banksters, supporting more deregulation and cutting funding to the Dodd-Frank Wall Street reform law. In 2010, American voters were duped into voting for these corporate shills with a massive AstroTurf effort staged by millionaires and billionaires like Dick Armey and the Koch brothers. Let's see to it that it doesn't happen again this year. In screwed news, meet Wall Street's billionaire, Pete Peterson, the man trying to destroy Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid as we know it. According to tax documents between 2007 and 2011, Peterson had given nearly $500 million to his Peter G. Peterson Foundation to run ads and lobby Congress, warning that the federal safety net programs are going broke and need to be drastically cut or privatized. And last Tuesday, Peterson hosted a fiscal summit with power players like Bill Clinton, Treasury Secretary Tim Geithner, Paul Ryan, and John Boehner on reducing the deficit by cutting Social Security and Medicare. Senator Bernie Sanders was also at the meeting, though he wasn't invited. He was there to protest. And we should all be doing the same to stop Pete Peterson from destroying our social safety net. In the best of the rest of the news, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, issued a warning to the 17-nation Eurozone today, saying that there's a good chance of a severe recession this year if governments and the European Central Bank don't act quickly to promote economic growth. That's the same message the IMF had for the UK today, calling on the British government to slow down on the austerity and pass stimulus measures to boost demand and grow the economy. Europe is sinking under the weight of vicious austerity measures in places like the UK, Spain, and Greece that have led to economies contracting, unemployment surging, and deficits growing, and suicide rates spiking. Here in the United States, the Paul Ryan Republican budget would have similar effects. Despite Ryan arguing that his budget isn't austerity, an analysis by the Economic Policy Institute found that the Paul Ryan budget, the Republican budget, would kill 4.1 million American jobs. But Ryan is half right. His budget isn't total austerity. It's only austerity for working people, as the Romney-level super-rich make off like bandits under Ryan's plan with a $3 trillion tax cut. Meanwhile, in Greece, democracy could put an end to the banksters' austerity experiment. On Monday, leftist Syriza party leader Alexis Tsipras traveled to France, where anti-austerity socialist François Hollande was recently elected, and called on European allies to join together to fight back against austerity. Speaking at a news conference, Tsipras, who is arguably the most important politician in Greece today, said, "Greece gave humanity democracy, and today the Greek people will bring democracy back to Europe. The war we are fighting in Europe is not between people or nations. It is between the forces of work and the invisible forces of finance and banks." End quote. Greece is headed for another round of elections in June, and Tsipras' Zira party is expected to win big at the polls, meaning austerity might be breathing its last gasps in Greece. Newark Mayor Cory Booker raised some eyebrows over the weekend when he slammed the Obama campaign's ads against Mitt Romney and Bain Capital. Booker's comments have been picked by conservatives to criticize the Obama campaign strategy. Now Think Progress is out with some new information explaining why Booker was so quick to defend Bain. Going as far back as 2000, when Booker first ran for mayor, he's collected tens of thousands of dollars in campaign contributions from, you guessed it, Bain Capital executives. He's also received more than $500,000 from the Wall Street and financial industry during his political career. Booker is a savvy politician, and he knows rule number one of politics in the post-Citizens United age, and that's don't bite the hand that feeds you. The methane time bomb is real. A new survey of subarctic regions in Alaska and Greenland by the University of Alaska discovered approximately 150,000 different sites where methane gas is seeping out of the frozen permafrost and into the atmosphere. Methane is a greenhouse gas that's been locked under ice for hundreds of thousands of years, but as the planet warms due to human factors, the methane leaks out and rapidly accelerates greenhouse gas emissions around the world. Since 1978, methane concentrations in our atmosphere have increased dramatically. We're nearing a climate change tipping point on this planet, and unfortunately, oil barons are hell-bent on dragging all of us across it, regardless of the catastrophic consequences for our planet. And finally, Florida is at it again, kicking minorities off the voting rolls. State election officials are currently working to throw hundreds of thousands of non-citizens off the voting rolls ahead of the 2012 election. But supervisors looking at preliminary lists have found numerous errors that could lead to legal citizens losing their right to vote in the Sunshine State. Similar effort in 2000 to purge convicted felons off voter rolls led to thousands of innocent African Americans in Florida being turned away at the polls. Republicans know the best way they can win elections is to keep Americans voting, and that explains these recent actions in Florida and the numerous voter ID laws being passed around the nation that will kick millions of minority, elderly, and young voters off the rolls. And that's the way it is today, Tuesday, May 22nd, 2012. I'm Thom Hartmann on the news.